we're going to do here is we're going to make up some of our 9.5 Kangen water. And as we're doing that, we'll talk about some of these other waters that are on the counter and other drinks. We've got Dasani and Aquafina, of course, very two popular bottles of water. Coke and Pepsi's #1 sellers. We've got Propel or Gatorade. We've got Sprite. And then we have that new vitamin water that everybody's been talking about. Now that we've got a whole glass here of our 9.5 water, we'll just set that right here. And let's take a little look at these. First, we'll get the Sprite opened up. Pour a little bit in the glass. Now, Sprite, a lot of the moms out there, they give Sprite to their kids when the kids aren't feeling well, but I think after today, you may not want to do that anymore. The next one here is the Propel, the Gatorade. We're using all clear drinks today because when we go ahead and put in the pH drops, which we're going to use pH test drops that actually will color the water, and you're going to be able to see what the pH of these various drinks are. Here's our first reverse osmosis water. This is Dasani. Now, reverse osmosis in Japan, they actually call this dead water because there's actually nothing good in this water for you. In fact, the actual process actually takes everything out of the water, all the minerals and everything, and that's actually why it tastes somewhat decent. But I think you'll find that after today, you don't want to be drinking this water anymore because it just doesn't give you the ability to get the nutrients from the various things that we're putting into our bodies. Now we've got our Kangen water, our 9.5. We'll go ahead and pour this. Put that right there. And then the last glass, this is going to be tap water. We'll just go ahead and just leave this on tap. Go ahead and fill up a glass of tap water there. Now, first thing I want to do is I actually want to show you what is the ORP. We've talked a little bit about ORP. And what ORP is that is the oxidation reduction potential. Now, Dr. Carpenter just talked about the apple. When you cut it, it turns brown and it oxidizes. And the number that we're looking for a negative number. Any negative number means that it's an antioxidant. A positive number means that it's actually oxidating on your body. So let's go ahead and test. Actually, before we do this, what I want to do is I need to get ourselves a cup of clean water. We're going to get some clean water, and we can actually do this on the machine. We just set it to clean water. Go ahead and turn this on, and we're going to run just some 7.0 pH clean water, and I'm going to actually dip the wand of the ORP meter in this between each one so we don't contaminate any of our tests here. We'll go ahead and set this right here. We'll bring the meter over here. So let's see. I'll go ahead and clean that off now. And when we get our first one, go ahead and see what that reading is right there. Got about a positive 363. Go ahead and go into the next one here. Let's get that all cleaned off. And that right there. And let's see, what are we getting there for a reading? A positive, 292. Pretty good, 296. I think we're going to go over 300. We'll go ahead and we'll go to the next one there. Now remember, these are positive numbers. We're looking for a negative number. So this means that all of these are actually oxidizing substances to our bodies. So we'll go ahead and we'll go in here to the vitamin water. And we've got what? A positive 214. Go ahead and put that back in the clean water. And we'll get over here into the Dasani, and we'll see where the Dasani registers. Now the Dasani is a positive 100, 168, 172. As you can see, it's continuing to climb. We're going to be over 200 here in a moment. That's going to continue to go up. Go ahead and just clean that one off. And we'll come back here and we'll check the Aquafina. The Aquafina, we've got a positive, looks like about 150 thus far. It's going to keep on going. We're up to about 180. And I think as we sit and watch it, it's going to be the same as the Dasani. It'll continue to climb to over 200. Go ahead and bring this over. In fact, I'm going to skip and come right over to the tap water. And we'll come back and do our Kangen water. Now the tap water has a positive 300. What is that number now? 325, 334, over 350. I think we'll find that'll continue to climb to well over 400. And as we sit and watch that go, I think you're going to see that it will. So we'll go ahead and we'll move on to the next. We're going to come back now and let's see what the Kangen water, the 9.5. Go ahead and put this in here. Now what we're looking for here is a negative number. And I think you can see right now we are at a minus 349, minus 350. You know, we're riding right around the 349, 350. So minus 350, that is a huge change. When we go ahead and look at that, that is, I'm going to get this put away, that's amazing. That's a huge difference. If you want to put an antioxidant into your body, in fact, a liquid antioxidant, you know, this is exactly the source, is the Kangen water, the 9.5. Okay, now let's go ahead and test the pH of each of these drinks. Now the pH is done where we use actually pH test drops. And these test drops are actually the same drops that you would use to test the pH in a pool. We're just going to put 4 drops into each of these glasses. Now the pH scale ranges from 0 to 14. And what you want is you want to be on the high side. You want to be as high as you can get. You don't want to be on the low side. So we're going to go ahead here. We're going to stir these up. We're going to stir up this first one here, the Sprite. And you can see on the, basically on the low side of the pH scale, you've got very, very, you know, an orangish color, which is what you don't want. You get into here to the vitamin water. I thought vitamin water was supposed to be good for you. Well, it's got a very low pH to it. We get in here to the reverse osmosis waters. This surprises a lot of people when they actually see this reverse osmosis water. You go to the store and you buy these bottles and you think that it's really good for you, but yet you can see it just doesn't have that much of a pH value. Now this last glass, this is the tap water. Now this tap water here is it's blue. And some people get excited about that because actually the pH value of this compared to all these other drinks is much better. Much better. But what they don't tell you is that the federal government mandates that tap water be at least 7.0 in pH. And so because of that, they use various chemicals, lyes, and anything they have to put into that water to get it to go to here. In fact, a lot of times when you filter this water, you will actually see that the pH values come back to this range once some of those chemicals are filtered out. So let's see what happens when we actually take some of our 9.5 water here and we just mix a little bit of it right in. Look what we just did to that tap water. We changed that tap water and we took it from an acidic, or actually it was a somewhat neutral state, to a very alkaline state. We're going to do the same thing over here to the Aquafina. And it very quickly turns purple. You can see that. Here we go again. We're going to get it to go purple just by mixing in some of our water. Now these other 3 over here, I actually want to, I'm going to go ahead and use our water, our 9.5 water, and I'm going to pour it directly in. Now watch what happens when we do this. Isn't that amazing? We're not getting any color change at all. In fact, if I go over here, we're not going to get any color change in either of these drinks. They are so acidic that it's actually going to take anywhere from 25, 30 cups of our water, of 9.5 pH water, when we mix it into these other waters, or these other drinks, to actually get it to go neutral. In fact, I'm going to show you that because this is so potent. I mean, look at this soda here. This soda is so potent that if we just take a tiny bit and put it right into one of these cups, it immediately takes away the alkalinity of these. I mean, take a look at that. It is just, it's absolutely gone. And so very, very quickly you can take an alkaline substance and turn it into a very acidic substance.